Have you ever thought what it could be like to be a police officer in pursuit of someone? How would you react if cops arrested you for drunk driving even though you passed the test?
We would go to the PD where it's
Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that now. I want to go home. You wasted my time.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
How do you think police officers would deal with a woman who leaves her young child in a car during extreme hot temperatures? If you want to see the craziest cop videos on the planet,
stay back. Let him do the thing. Let him do the thing. All right, call your lawyer.
we have it all for you on Beyond the Badge. So sit tight because we're getting started. Number 8, impersonating police officer.
Have you been sworn in by
It's
that?
very important you answer this correctly, because being a former police officer or someday a current police officer, you know if you lie in this situation, you go directly to jail.
A former Pickaway County correctional deputy is accused of impersonating a police officer to control traffic. This video is amusing, especially when the police officers observe this young man directing traffic while pretending to be a cop. When the policeman asked if he's a cop, the man is ambiguous and uneasy, and he doesn't fully answer their queries.
If you are telling me you are a police officer right now, is that what you're telling me? So you are not a commissioned police officer.
I have spoke with the chief.
That's what I'm asking you.
He calls to confirm that what he's telling the cops is correct. He tells the authorities that he was told to do this, but when he realizes that the cops aren't buying it, he starts pleading his innocence.
I'm asking you for courtesy, man to man. Please do not ruin my career. Please, please, please.
The cops inform him that he will be arrested but will be freed with a summons to appear in court later. Number 7, woman leaves baby in hot car. A woman from Oklahoma was arrested after she left her 14-month-old toddler in a boiling hot car while she went into a liquor store. Police officers arrived at the liquor store and noticed the automobile parked. Officers noticed the boy in the front seat moving around and heard him crying and in panic mode.
Laying down somewhere. I can hear him, but I can't see him anymore.
He'd been in the vehicle for around 20 minutes. The temperature was recorded as 88 degrees Fahrenheit with a heat index of 91. According to the body cam video, an officer approaches the gray minivan and notices that the little child is alone inside. He circles the vehicle, trying to see whether any of the doors are open. The boy's mother exits the liquor store with a buddy and notifies the cops that the vehicle belongs to them.
Is this your car?
Yes, sir.
Open it up right now.
The officer quickly asks the mother how she could have left her little boy in the car in such hot weather. The officer is informed by the mother, who is sobbing, that she assumed the car's air conditioning was switched on.
The car isn't even running.
The officer informs the mother that the vehicle is not even operating, so the air conditioning could not have been on. The baby was said to be in medical distress and to be wearing only a damp nappy.
Don't move. You step back up on the curb right now.
Officers notified the state's Department of Human Services as the child was being transported to the hospital. He was placed under their care. The boy's mother was arrested and charged with child endangerment. Number 6, voter fraud arrests.
We're telling him he's right here.
Right here. So if you can put your hands behind your back, please. Oh my God. Do not move.
In August, Governor Ron DeSantis announced that those arrested were criminals who were unable to vote and were facing third-degree felony fraud charges. Florida voters approved Amendment 4, which restored voting rights to 1.4 million people barred from voting due to prior felony convictions. However, just months later, the Republican-controlled legislature in Florida passed and DeSantis signed legislation that prevented hundreds of thousands of felons from becoming eligible to vote until they met all their previous legal financial obligations. Bodycam footage released by the Tampa Bay Times and Miami Herald through public records requests revealed voters were stunned by the felony accusations. Number 5, arrest of Darian Miller. A DeLond man was arrested on a long list of felony counts after he attacked his girlfriend, locked her in the trunk of a car, and then fled from deputies at speeds of up to 120 miles per hour.
Charlie 65 right now. Going towards those Daytona guys with sticks. Outside lane.
Deputies responded to a complaint of an abduction, which triggered the event. Darian Miller, 42, the victim's ex-boyfriend, ordered she drive him somewhere she told deputies. When they arrived, he requested that she get out of the car. When she refused to get out of the car, Miller got out of the car, walked to the driver's door, hit the victim numerous times, and popped the trunk.
Thank God for making me the strong woman that I am.
He allegedly grabbed her phone, bank card, and money and told her she couldn't call anyone.
He told me this was my last day being on earth.
He then dragged her into the trunk, striking her many times more before closing the lid. Residents in the neighborhood began to gather when the victim used the trunk release to open the lid and scream for help. Miller punched the woman again and attempted to close the trunk on her, but since he was distracted by the witnesses, the victim was able to flee and run towards the family food market. Responding deputies observed her face was bloated and her clothes were ripped and soaked in blood. Miller, on the other hand, had already departed the scene in the victim's vehicle. While there were initial claims of bullets being fired during the event, it was later confirmed that no rounds were fired. Miller was spotted soon after midnight fleeing Daytona Beach police and returning to International Speedway Boulevard, where he reached speeds of 120 miles an hour as he continued to flee. Miller eventually stopped and surrendered after deputies deployed stop sticks on the car. He complained of back pain and was transferred to Florida Hospital before being transported to the Volusia County Branch Jail, where he was held without bond. Number 4, March 30th, 2023.
Don't move.
You got anything on you? Can take us, focus,
No,
focus.
sir.
The man in this video stole some bikes and was spotted by some people who called the cops. They found all sorts of tools with the man and asked him questions about his tools and what they were used for.
So why would Billy have to cut pliers that you magically had in your back pocket?
The man, handcuffed, answered all the questions the police officers were asking, but when they asked him where all the stolen bikes were, he said he didn't have any.
We don't have any. I mean, you can check them.
He even said he had some of his bikes stolen. The man was eventually taken into custody by police. Number 3, suspect shooting women in love triangle.
We'll do everything. Leave your hand up.
A shooting in Daytona Beach involving a possible love triangle left a woman dead and a suspect in custody. Around 11:56 a.m., Daytona Beach police were called to a shooting. The victim, Carly Elliott, 30, was taken to Halifax Health Medical Center in Daytona Beach, where she died. The shooting suspect, Chad Keene, 37, was later arrested in traffic in Ormond Beach. The woman was at a 7-Eleven and got into an argument with her boyfriend. She left the convenience store and while outside called Keene. The boyfriend followed Elliott as she walked on the street and watched as Keene pulled out a firearm and shot Elliott. Police found a shell casing at the scene that matched other ammunition later found in Keene's apartment. Keene admitted to meeting Elliott but denied shooting her. According to the charging document, a witness was on the telephone with Keene and heard the gunshot and a woman exclaim, "You shot me." Number 2, police wrongfully arrest 19-year-old during traffic stop.
We would go to the PD where it's Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that now. I want to go home. You wasted my time.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
In this video, the Newton Police Department falsely arrests a teen in Newton, Iowa. Taven Galanakis was pulled over for driving with his high beams on and then was later falsely arrested for driving while intoxicated even after blowing zeros. Officer Nathan Winters has a no-contact order involving domestic abuse in 2021 after beating his ex-girlfriend. The chief of police, Rob Burdess, allowed Nathan Winters to keep his job as an officer even after the news of domestic abuse. It's incredible how cops get away with everything, and this young man did absolutely nothing wrong and was arrested. Number 1, West Volusia drug warrant roundup.
He's okay.
What did he arrest you for?
I don't know. He don't know.
He got warrant.
He don't know. You got a warrant.
A drug enforcement operation on Volusia County's west side ended with over 3 dozen arrests, including several made during a warrant roundup by Volusia Sheriff's officers, detectives, and members of the West Volusia Narcotics Task Force and crime suppression teams.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Go. Stay back. Let him do the thing. Let him do the thing. All right. Call your lawyer.
Several wanted suspects were apprehended on warrants resulting from earlier investigations. These individuals were arrested alongside 25 others during an operation aimed at street-level narcotics deals. Thaddeus Robinson pulled up to the arrest scene and confronted detectives while deputies were making one of the arrests.
You don't know. You got a warrant. For what? Sale and delivery. Sale and delivery? Yes.
Robinson approached a narcotics investigator, gave him his home address, and said he would see him later. Detectives prepared an affidavit against Robinson, charging him with corruption by threat, which was reviewed by the state attorney's office and signed by a judge. Following the completion of all warrant efforts, detectives returned to several narcotics transaction target locations.
Well, I put the ecstasy and the weed in that little one.
And made further arrests. Detectives found a variety of narcotics, cash, and 3 weapons during the operation. It's clear that being a cop is not easy, and one wrong decision can change the lives of people in an instant. I still can't get over the poor kid that was arrested even though he passed the alcohol blowing test.
Let's blow real quick. Stop doing all these damn tests, let's blow.
Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? And well, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be a part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks for watching and see you next time.